Nicole here with Didi. Sit. No, sit. Okay, yes. There we go. Nicole here with Didi. We're going to be working on his barking on a leash when he sees another dog. However, he does not really want to bark for us today. So we do have another dog on the side, Diva, one of the Portuguese water dogs, and she'll be our demo dog, if you will. And what we're going to be doing is talking about how to manage his behavior. And also when I do have him on the walk and everything like that, when he does come out, it's always a good idea to have either a slip lead like this, where you can put the lead around the dog's neck and position it in the proper place, right up at the top of the neck behind the ears, right behind the jaw. And this helps us maintain complete control over his head. If he does have the flat collar on, and if the flat collar comes down towards the base of the neck, he starts pulling, you're really enabling the dog by pulling back on that as well. So having the slip lead up at the top, right behind the ears, gives us a lot of head control, and we can correct the dog with minimal effort, which is really nice considering that he's not a small dog and he's very strong. Alright, so when we do have Didi seeing another dog in the distance, the first thing that probably comes to his mind is letting you know that there's another dog over there, and he wants to make sure that that dog knows he's there and you know that that dog is there. So protective instincts might kick in, and at this point you definitely want to make sure that you're confident and you're able to correct Didi. You appreciate his efforts to alert you, but you want to make sure that, hey, you can have him quiet down, sit down, lay down, ignore the dog basically. Alright, so I'm going to bring Didi right around, and if Miss Diva would like to come up on the side, and we can go from there. Good boy. Alright, so let's try that again. Alright, so no barking going on here. Come on, Didi. No barking going on. He didn't have any protective behavior, of course. I'm a handler, not the owner. And he didn't have any territorial defensive going on, so it's most likely you guys. He's protecting you, he's letting you know that there are dogs around. So one way to manage this behavior is to redirect his attention to you. Good boy. So when we do have Didi here, yes, sit. Good boy. When we do have Didi here and you have him on the leash, he gets a little bit fixated on a dog, what you're going to do is use your positive punishment, which is utilizing your lead, and what you're going to do is a slight little tug off to the side of the dog. This is basically like another dog biting Didi, letting him know that you don't appreciate the behavior. So since dogs don't have hands, they can't poke another dog and say, hey, stop doing that, so they use their mouths. So this is the same thing that we're going to be doing here. Obviously we're not using our mouth, but we're using the lead to correct the dog. And it's called positive punishment because we're able to pinpoint the exact moment in time that Didi does something that we don't like, and we can correct it. Oh, excuse me 1 second here. Got a leaf. There we go. Alright, sorry about that. But when we do have use negative punishment, that would mean, for example, you presenting a treat to the dog, asking the dog to do something and they don't do it, and you just take it away. So utilizing positive punishment, you can pinpoint the exact moment in time that the dog does something, and you can, in a timely manner, correct the dog, and he knows exactly what he did was wrong because you had perfect timing with correcting it. So, let's get Didi connected. Boy. So if I'm walking Didi and Didi sees a dog off in the distance, perhaps he gets a little protective over you guys. Let's say that he does the same here. He, barks, what have you. one bark to let me know that someone is there or another dog is there, that's okay, that's totally fine. But if he continues to do so, what we're going to do is utilize that positive punishment, tug off to the side. While we're doing that, no. Making sure that he understands the meaning of the word no, very, very important. Every time he, gets fixated on the dog, no. Making sure he understands that that is not a behavior that you want him to exhibit. You don't want him to get fixated on any dogs. Alright, so Didi is completely ignoring Diva over on the side here. And he's maintaining his focus on me, which is excellent. Whenever you see him really staring at a dog, if he really starts watching them back and forth and doesn't do anything other than stare, perhaps he might bark occasionally, but you want to discourage that immediately. Do not ever allow him to get fixated on things. So, he's staring at Diva. Again, what I want to do is tell him no, making sure that he looks at me. If he does not respond to no the first time, that's when we can use our positive punishment, our slight correction on the lead, off to the side, pull it, no, and then continue on. So what he's going to do is realize that it's okay to let you know that there's a dog there, but it's not okay for me to continue barking at the dog. It's okay if he's friendly. Didi's a really friendly guy, but you want to make sure that he maintains his manners and his self-control when he does come across another dog. And also, you as the owner, make sure that you don't get nervous or anything like that. You want to make sure that you're confident and you're able to let Didi know that you're the one in charge and he's just along for the ride. So we're going to walk by Diva. Didi, let's go. Didi's ready for a nap. Well, he's really not interested in Diva whatsoever. So sorry we couldn't get that bark to come out of him there for the training session. But this shows you that, even if a dog may be perceived as overexcited, or sometimes we even have people bring in their dog, say, hey, my dog is aggressive, but of course if the dog is with another handler, a different person acting the exact same way, that shows you that yes, the dog might be either, really, really anxious or aggressive. However, with different handlers, the dogs react differently. So with one person that might be a little bit nervous or a little bit apprehensive to go out and do something with the dog definitely feels that. However, if you do have someone who's really confident, who's, able to control the situation with that same dog, the dog definitely relays that information back to you and will also be calm, submissive, confident. Very good. Well, Didi didn't do too much to anything for this training session, and Miss Diva over here is wanting to go back and play. But just remember, whenever he starts to get fixated on a dog, you want to correct that, break that fixation. He needs to be focused on you and not the dog. It is okay for him to let you know that there's another dog around, but it is not okay for him to continue barking. So if he does one quick bark, rough, there's someone right there, I want to make sure my owners know, that's totally fine. But if he continues barking, correction, off to the side, make sure you're using that no every time you correct. And if push comes to shove and he gets a little bit too much, you don't have to totally take him away from the scenario there, but just take him a little bit farther away. So don't remove him completely, or else the dog will learn that anytime he barks or whatever, he will basically be removed from the situation. He doesn't have to deal with it. So always make sure that Didi faces his fears. Alright, so it's been Nicole here with Didi, and we've been going over basically how to manage him when he starts barking at other dogs. Unfortunately, he didn't do much barking this training session, but of course, let us know how everything is progressing, and we'd love to continue working on it. Yeah. Alright, we'll see you guys later. Bye. Come on.